Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu.
It's your boy Westside Boss, Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu. Live right here behind the scenes. Y'all know what's up, y'all know what time it is. And we're still making the album for Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu. The title of the album, African American Samurai Eternally. So this is another episode with me behind the scenes. Basically, this is my most Afrocentric and revolutionary, spiritually conscious record. And in this, my particular album, I recorded about 45 songs altogether now. It's almost like 50 actually, if I want to be precise. And basically, each and every song was done in a series of recording studios over a number of years. And usually whenever I get in the studio, I record maybe 4 songs a day at the same time. Most of them, I actually spontaneously write these songs in the studio. So basically, it's a platform for me to express my versatility. People want to know about my source and like my inspiration, where that comes from. And basically, there's a whole lot of artists that I've taken in their flavor and a lot of their essence merged into my personality to make up myself and to create my persona to the person that I am today, being Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu, the American boss revolutionary, part 2 of Tupac Amaru Shakur, who is my #1 inspiration in the music industry right from the beginning, just as well as other revolutionaries like Bob Marley, Fela Kuti, Nipsey Hussle, who is late now apparently, and I also listen to a lot of people like Bone Thugs and Harmony, 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, to a certain extent Cardi B, a whole lot of artists, have been my inspiration through my journey as a musician to come to the level that I am today. And back to the major topic, what my album is talking about, what I'm expressing is more about Afrocentric enlightenment. It's about our culture as Africans and about the fact that we are the Aboriginal people, the Aboriginal ancestors of humanity. All life started from Africa. This is the reality that's not being taught in our schools today. So I use my music to self-educate myself and my people, to awaken my people and unplug us all out from the matrix of this corrupt society that the world turns out to be today. My music basically is reminiscent of a whole lot of revolutionary content and artistic personas, just like I said, like being like in the person of Tupac Amaru Shakur, me taking in inspiration from him, Bob Marley, Fela Kuti, a whole lot of other artists just like him. And the thing about me, why the name Makaveli Tu, as I'm called, is because I have like multiple personalities within myself, in the sense that, unlike Tupac, I don't just rap. And in fact, I rap exactly like Tupac. When I rap, it's my gift that I sound like him, and also I carry the same drive and the same revolutionary message, and much more than that, spiritually conscious revolutionary messages are passed through my music. And aside from that part of me, I also sing, and my singing is so classic to the level of people like Chris Brown. When I sing, I sound like Chris Brown. When I rap, I sound like Tupac. So I merge these personas together in myself. So I really appreciate those who have been the forefronters and the trailblazers of like the industry on a worldwide level for we Afrocentric revolutionary artists. And I'm here to bring my people back to the void and the space that's being left in entertainment today, because this is supposed to be a platform for us to enlighten people and educate people, and this is what I'm using my music for, basically. So watch out for a whole lot from me, King Mrthugrock Makaveli Tu, West Side California boss. And you already know what the album title is, African American Samurai Eternally. So more into the topic about my biography. As you all know, I was born in the UK, in the United Kingdom, and basically I hail from the eastern region of Biafra, or as some people like to call it, Nigeria. And basically my family is like from royalty. My dad's father was the Eze of the Diato North local government R&D zone. When I say he's the Eze, or was the Eze before he passed away recently in 2021, no, actually that was last year, 2020. He being the Eze means that he was the king of that whole community throughout my childhood, growing up into being an adolescent. So my family basically was very rich, you know what I mean? And just being in that kind of background gave me the opportunity to be well traveled, because my mother was always traveling ever since she married into my father's family, you know what I mean? My dad and my mom, after they got married before I was born and giving birth to us, her children, her 3 sons and 1 girl, the girl being the last born, they spent their honeymoon in the UK, where my dad went into drug trafficking. And basically he dealt drugs and started taking the drugs that he was dealing with. So he became domestically violent in the marriage, and eventually it turned out to be something that led to a divorce between my mom and my dad. And the whole time during this period that we were having like instability domestically with my family, between my mom and my dad being very violent and not taking care of us and living up to his responsibilities as a father. His whole family was supporting him and his infidelity, because he was also messing around with a whole lot of other women. He eventually had kids with a couple other women, you know what I mean? So all this kind of like shaped the person that I became as an adult, as an artist. And we realized so many things, you know, being away from my father for years, because most of the times he would disappear for a bunch of years and then reappear, you know what I mean? After being in jail, coming out, he was in London, we were in America, and from America we was in Jamaica, we was in Mexico, we was in Singapore, we also traveled to Ghana, Cameroon, and eventually Nigeria. You know what I mean? So all these places we actually was moving from house to house. We weren't very stable in any certain country. We was always there for like a couple of years, and then we moved to another place. So that kind of like shaped the versatility of who I became as an artist. You know what I mean? And during our travels, we became like mentally awakened and enlightened spiritually, and we came to realize like how Africans had really been cheated out of their glory. You know what I mean? Because the fact is, it's not being racially prejudiced, but just to be real, Christianity and Islam and all religions brought to Africa by the white man through slavery and murder, all those religions are lies. And this is not being taught in school. People like to hide the fact that we black people, we the Afrocentric gods and goddesses, we are actually the parents of humanity. All life started from us. And even scientifically, it's been proven, as I said in many of my interviews before, because we African people that have the melanin skin tone, we are the only race that have it in our DNA to reproduce every race out from ourselves, both the Mongoloid, the Caucasoid, the white, the Asian, the Arabs, and whatever. When a brown-skinned god, such as myself, because I'm a god, since nobody can scientifically put a date on the fact of how we Africans, we the brown and black people came into existence, and exactly how long we've been in existence. You know what I mean? So we are the forefathers and mothers of humanity. You know what I mean? So take it or leave it, this is reality. When a brown person and a brown, like, male and female come together, have intercourse, or a black man and a black woman come together, have intercourse, we reproduce every race and every skin color out from ourselves. But you can never see a white man and a white woman having an affair. or intercourse and then give birth to a black man. That's how precious we are. And white folks know this. That's why they brought religion to mentally control Africans and make them lose sight of their ancestry and their glory and forget their history, and brainwashing them with Christianity and a Jesus that never existed. You know what I mean? So I'm correcting all these mishappenings through my music, basically. That's what my album represents in the Afrocentric community on a worldwide basis. You know what I mean? So basically, my album represents emancipation for all Africans all over the world. It's basically a wake-up call to my people to remind us who we are. You know what I mean? And I'm really proud to be the man that I am, proud to be an African god, because a lot of Africans around the world have lost their way. And a lot of black people around the world are living in the shadows of white people. They find it hard to accept themselves as anything more than slaves. You know what I mean? It's only people like myself and the conscious Afrocentric gods and goddesses around the world who have broken free from the shackles and the chains and the matrix of Christianity and their ignorant, stupid religion. It's us who have woken up out of this facade, who are actually gods and goddesses. It doesn't mean that being gods and goddesses doesn't mean that we don't go through human emotions and we don't experience tribulations and ups and downs as humans do. I mean, of course, we as a people do go through challenges, but what the underlying theme and fact is, which is what I really talk about and I really drive across through my music, the fact is, no matter how delicate this vessel that we wear as humanity is, the most precious of it is the black race. The most original of this vessel, called the human body, is the black race. And it's time that we start reminding ourselves that, because too much injustice has been done to Africa around the world. Listen to Bob Marley, listen to Tupac, listen to Fela Kuti, listen to myself, Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu, and remember who you are. And that's what my music is here for. I'm tired of seeing black women around the world, most especially since I came back to Nigeria from America, and being in a number of relationships, because even our people, my ancestors, were polygamous. And there's nothing wrong with being polygamous. The only issue with having multiple wives is not being honest to each of your spouses about who you are in a relationship with. And these are the things that Christianity has really demonized. Christianity just came to demonize African culture so that we will think less of ourselves and then see them as if they are righteous. Meanwhile, they came here, they plundered and raped and killed human beings, and then they think that over bloodshed they can bring salvation to humanity. It's impossible. White people lied to us through colonialism and slave trade, and we cannot excuse this. It's an abomination to black people all over the world to keep on worshiping fake religions and fake deities that don't exist, that were brought to Africa through slavery. And we were not savages before white people came here. There was no such thing as greed. There was no such thing as selfishness and all this agenda of politicians, these fake politicians who are here to rob the world of wealth and make people to suffer in poverty and all that. That was not how Africa was. Africa was rich. Africa was the hub of humanity. This was the most civilized nation in existence before white people came and turned everything upside down. I'm not saying white people are all bad, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people would like to misquote me and say I'm being racially prejudiced, because most of the white people today, they know the reality, they know the truth, and it's their ancestors who are responsible for all of this negativity that's going on in the world today. After all, most religions that they brought are preaching things like homosexuality, being gay, being transgender, being all these negative things came into existence only when white people came with their so-called facade and religion and their fake way of life. So Africans need to recall themselves back and start being proud of African culture. You know what I mean? So this is what King Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu, California West Side boss, being myself, the well-traveled American, intelligent, spiritual black god, myself. This is what I'm driving across through my album, my deeper album, African American Samurai Eternally. It's not just about me singing or being talented. It's about mental awakening. It's about being conscious. And this is what my music represents for people all over the world, not just Africans. I'm the voice for the voiceless, and I'm here to bring back sanity to the insanity that this world has created. That's what I use my music for, not to just talk about vague things and materialism and a lot of bullshit. Black people need to stop realizing how precious they are. Black women need to stop wearing fake weave-ons and fake hair and trying to look like white people who are trying to look like us, because they know how precious we are. They don't have melanin. That's why when you put a white person in the sun and they stay there a couple of weeks, they get cancer. But we are blessed in the motherland of humanity, Africa, where it all started from. And we survive and we thrive. No matter how much injustice has come to Africa, we continue to thrive and survive. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to drive across with my music, and I'm being an inspiration for fellow upcoming artists such as myself who have passed through the struggle and don't know where to start from. You know what I mean? I'm just here to remind everybody that when you believe in yourself, you can make positive things to happen, and you don't have to be like everyone else. It's good to stand out from the crowd. You know what I mean? I've been in so many relationships, and most especially since I came back to Nigeria, because I had, like, when I was in America, I had girlfriends over there. Also when I was in Ghana, I had girlfriends. In Cameroon, same thing. You know what I mean? And eventually, based on observations over time, I realized a lot of the girls I met, most especially when I came home to Nigeria, most of them still have this slave mentality where they think you have to, you know, whitewash yourself and try to be something outside of African culture. Wearing fake hair, fake eyes, fake eyelashes, fake nails, everything. Just be original. We are the only ones that have this precious, kinky, curly hair on the planet Earth. You know what I mean? White people have straight hair, which is just like the fur that's on animals. You know what I mean? To show that you are a god and you're a goddess when you're conscious and you accept that fact as an African. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were surprised, like, because like in America, it's already mainstream that we, most of us, the ones who are conscious and enlightened mentally, we accept the fact that we're not living to impress white people or to impress politicians and their fake agendas to try and dehumanize us to be what we're not, you know what I mean? But a lot of people down here, they try to dress to suit the standards that's being portrayed on TV and all that bullshit. It's time to stop being proud of who you are. So this is what my music is here for, to awaken my people and remind you that being revolutionary is the way to break out of mental slavery. You know what I mean? So, like, and also for the ladies, I would really appreciate, like, for most of these females I've been dating since I came down here, they keep wearing their fake hair, and when they see a guy with dreadlocks and stuff, they get confused. You know what I mean? My hair is natural. I never for once put artificial hair on my head. This grows from my body. This is my natural crown given to me by my ancestors. You know what I mean? And we black gods and goddesses, just as our ancestors were gods, we are gods and following in their likeness. And we are here to continue the legacy that they left behind. You know what I mean? It was our ancestors who went through struggles for us and put us in the position of power that we are today. So it's only a betrayal and it's an abomination of our people if they, like, forget what our ancestors died for during slavery and they go worshiping the gods of the people who enslaved them, gods that don't exist. You know what I mean? That's total betrayal, which I can never do. I always be on the path of righteousness and represent Afrocentric culture to the fullest because I'm an African god, and that's what this is about. from you to me, and from me to you, being honest to ourselves, represent African culture, because this is the foundation of all humanity. We Afrocentric people, we the melanin toned, brown skin and black gods and goddesses worldwide, we are the parents of humanity. Be proud of this fact, because it's reality. Stay tuned to more from me, King Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu-Westside Boss. And watch out for my music videos on youtube.com/Mrthugrock. On Instagram, you can find me, King Mrthugrock, Makaveli Tu. Stay tuned, Westside.